Hello? What was that?
Who is it? Who made that noise? Show yourself. You're a ghost? Okay, that's weird. Why aren't you making the usual "ooh" sounds then? Okay, that makes sense. It makes sense.
You know, it's weird. One day I was just watching YouTube videos and then suddenly I was recommended a video of some guy named Ivan Dorin. So I watched the video and I was like, holy shit, this is an old man living alone, screaming in his room. My goodness. But then it hit me that no matter how old you get, hey, rock bottom is always there waiting for you. I'm kidding, alright? It's weird, it's new, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. My first impression of him after all was him making weird noises in his room. So naturally I was a bit scared that if I clicked on the wrong video, some girl would be like, oh. Like I'm done with that shit. You know? My parents heard that from me more times than I can count, and you can blame Instagram for that. You're thinking now that their son watches porn. Do you think I watch porn? That's disgusting. I don't. I have principles. So, obviously, I turned off my volume. I dug deeper and looked over the thumbnails to see if there's anything interesting for me to watch. And usually just by doing this, I'd have an idea on what kind of videos someone usually makes. But with him, I can confidently say that I have no fucking clue what he does. Take a look at this. Ouroboros in The Shining. I don't know what the fuck Ouroboros is, but I googled it and it looks like a snake eating its own ass. So, that's kind of weird. I'm thinking now that this guy might be into some weird fucking porn. Let's look again. Connecting Greta Thunberg to James Bond. Now, Greta Thunberg as James Bond is actually a good choice because it's neither a black actor or a white actor. It's a girl. Hollywood takes some notes. If you can't choose between different colors when you're casting for a character, put a girl there. Flip the gender. Problem solved. It's gonna be good because instead of piping Bond girls, she's gonna be piping climate change and people fucking up the planet. You could say that she's laying down the good pipe. Or maybe she's anti-pipe. Let's move on. I'm hoping to click on something that's relatable. Something that someone like me with a small brain could understand. The meanings of Sandy Cheeks and SpongeBob's pants. Now this I like. It has everything that I'm looking for in a Pornhub video. It's got a catchy title, it's relatable, and it's got a thumbnail that says, yup, Sandy Cheeks and SpongeBob are step siblings. You know what to do, stepsis? Bend over and get stuck in that washing machine.
Sandy cheeks is something so commonly employed it seems that people overlook it and don't discuss the real definition. It's a photographic cliche. Bikini bottom is named, of course, after a swimsuit, or what eventually became the name of a swimsuit after nuclear testing made the area famous. But in Sandy Cheeks' case, it's an elaboration on that pun, because women who are photographed on beaches have done what they call the sandy buns shot so many times that they laugh and, oh, it's time to do it again, and turn it, like they do on Sports Illustrated specials. They'll make jokes about it because it's such a common thing to have a picture of women with sandy cheeks in this situation. Now, this has become perhaps a cover story or a means of deflecting from discussion of human cloning, it seems to me, because you usually find global warming and human cloning paired together, and in the doomsday analysis of what's supposed to destroy the world, you now have global warming added on as something that's supposed to destroy the world when it would actually make it more habitable.
That's so interesting. I wonder what kind of porn this guy watches. Like, what's his fetish? There's like an old saying to this. A man's personality and character is judged by what type of porn they have in their collection. That's a legit saying when getting to know someone. You got me in the first half, I'm not gonna lie. I was tempted by your talk of a sandy beach booty, but then you lost me at cloning and the destruction of the universe. I swear, if anyone wants to jump, my advice, jump to conclusions. Everyone should dream of jumping to conclusions like this. Let's look at something else. ASMR with my head in a bucket. ASMR, now that is something different. I have never watched an ASMR video. But okay, fine. I will let you have the honor of taking my ASMR virginity.
Okay, I'll try one of my usual experiments here. I think there's this potential market for ASMR that's done by putting your head in a bucket.
Leaked footage of God creating the universe. I disagree. What this is actually our POV when we come out of our mother's anus. Can you imagine being a baby and your first memory is seeing this guy's head? I would have peed in his face. I'd be like, ah! Go on, scram! This is my territory, bitch! Get your own hole!
I've got this pail and I've lined it with a camping mat that you use for insulating, keeping yourself separated from the cold that sucks the cold ground that sucks the heat out of your body.
Every day we stray further from God, but Ivan gets closer. That's right, but with an angle like this, he's closer than you think. This is a butt sniffing angle, as we call it in production terms. And that's what I appreciate about you, Ivan. Look, he left the guy speechless. Ivan's eloquence in his speech made this guy lose that part of his brain where he can type properly. The man of culture returns. Ah yes, the man of culture. The man whose culture is making porn parodies. Actually, you know what? $1 million idea that can make you a lot of money. He should make an ASMR album and call it The Culture of Man. Narrated by the man of culture. Huh? Any good. Oh wait. Sponsored by Sandy Cheeks OnlyFans. He has a very interesting way of speaking. You know, he has a specific choice of words that he uses. I feel like every time he's talking, he's just trying to reach a word count on his thesis. His thesis be like, Sandy Cheeks is derived from the female showing on the beach with their sandy buns. Subsequently, the origin of the word cheeks can be traced to cloning. Whereas it began as one cheek, was cloned, and it made the second cheek, thereby resulting in the word cheeks. In conclusion, when two cheeks collide, it expels an intestinal gas through the anus that we call farts, which additionally would then lead to the end of the world for the man whose face is being sat on. There's just something so smart and stupid about his videos. I can't tell if he's being serious or not. I don't even know if he's using smart words and terms just so we're confused and tricked into thinking that he's smart when he's not. Clearly, he writes dirty fanfics for a living. I can tell. I'm kidding. Thankfully for us, he did address the fact that people were confused about his videos. And funny enough, he compared our suffering to him having issues folding a baby stroller. What? Sorry, I meant a stroller model Costco 01211 CPEC Lift and Stroll Peacock Blue. So he wants to answer our confusion by making us more confused. I heard myself in my own confusion.
I've had people say on numerous occasions that they didn't understand my videos, and I don't know what to tell them because they don't say how or why they don't understand or what they don't understand. But I've been through a similar process myself recently with this stroller. I found it abandoned on the bike pathway, and it was in a half folded position, so the top part was down here, but it was folded down to there, but this part wasn't folded up to meet it. And it seemed like the owners gave up on it in disgust. I tried emailing and phoning the manufacturer, and I got diagrams and talked to a couple people over the phone, and I eventually looked up some forum questions because some people have trouble with this thing, and none of it worked for me. So I was in a position, I guess, like some of you are when you watch my videos. But after a few months I tried again, and I finally got it. So I guess the question is, you have to be persistent and maybe reapproach something after a little time has passed, and then maybe you might get the answer. And you have to approach it, I guess, without any preconceived notions. Don't assume that just because the manufacturer says that all you do is pull on this belt, that the thing will fold up on its own, that doesn't necessarily mean it's true.
This guy is just super specific and technical about things. Like, I bet he doesn't even drink his water without measuring the pH or sodium levels first. Now, I can't explain what it is, but there's just something so special about this guy and his channel. He has a certain charm and appeal that I myself cannot put into words. He left me speechless that I had my own appreciates use Ivan's moment. Like, besides giving birth in his room and dropping fact use, I actually appreciate what he's doing. You know, when I make my videos, I usually know how it's gonna flow, and I usually come out of it with a better understanding of what I'm making my video on. But with him, it's just, I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Even until now, I don't know. And that's not a bad thing. It's my fault. Because I feel like by trying to understand him, I end up putting him into a box. Like, you know that feeling when something is unfamiliar to you and you're struggling to fit it somewhere where you think it's normal and you try to fit it also into your opinion? That's what I did. The more I try to understand him, the more I try to mold him into who I think he is versus what he actually is, which is just a guy being himself, making YouTube videos, but with a different way of saying and doing things. Take this video for example, Hades in the news. Now, this is just him talking about Trump being in the news, but he compared him to Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. That's an interesting way to put it. Like I said, he has a way with words. Being a dirty fanfic writer can do that to you. Also, I did what he said on the stroller video. I stayed patient, I went back to his channel and gave his videos another chance. And from that experience, I could say that I have no idea what he's talking about. Everything just goes over my head, and that's more my fault. Alright? But it's more so that I kept coming back because he reminded me of that time when YouTube was more about the people making the videos. He brought me back to that time when it was more personal and real. And I guess that's what I appreciate about his channel. Here we have a guy who's just keeping it real.
Thank you everybody so much for all of your support in helping me get this far. I never thought I'd have a shot at 100,000, and it seems like that's starting to look a little bit more possible now. Thanks so much everybody. I don't know if I showed the heart pillow. There. In lieu of the need to make mass heartings of comments, and I try to reply to what I can, and I do this mass thank you because of course I can't say thank you to everybody, and I try to do it in an equitable fashion. See you next time.